Hello, I want to share a little bit about this learning checkpoint. For some of you, this is brand new information, and for some of you, this is something you did all last year. So, first of all, I want to start off talking about our 4 levels for mastery. We start out with emerging, which means you are at the beginning level of learning this new skill. Then we have developing, applying, which is grade level, and then extending, which means you're doing above grade level work. So for this first learning checkpoint, everyone in the class is still on emerging. And that to the kids feels really bad. But let me tell you why. We have just started the school year. We are all still at the beginning. Just like I am still emerging on Fortnite or bowling, it doesn't mean that I'm a bad bowler. It just means that I am a beginner. So we are all still at the beginning of 4th grade, and we haven't had a ton of time on our pathways. So let me show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. Behind me, you can see this section is ELA. There are 3 sections to our Make Meaning pathway. The first top one is questioning, which is kind of a review from 3rd grade. Then we go down to word meaning, which is all about context clues and things like that. And then we have the bottom, which is academic and domain specific vocabulary. In order to get, say, applying, you would have to be finished with all 3 of these skills and be on at least applying on all of them. Well, we don't have anyone there yet. Most of the kids, as you can see, are right here. They've mastered the first skill and they're working on their second skill. This is as they go around the paper with their circle, that's how they complete their skills. So if you were to wait another week, we would have a lot of kids who are probably going to be done with this skill. But for the 4th week of school, we are still in the middle of our first pathway. For math, you're going to see the same thing. In math, we have less completed because math took a little bit longer to get started. So we have 3 sections for our first pathway. We have periods in standard form, comparing numbers, and rounding numbers. As you can see, we only have 1 student on comparing numbers today, which is Tuesday. By the end of the week, I'm sure I'll have a lot more kids on comparing numbers because these kids are moving quickly once they get started. So I just wanted to reassure you that just because you see an EM on the report card does not mean they're doing poorly. It just means they are still at the beginning. If you give us a little more time, you will see these kids moving very quickly through our pathways. Feel free to reach out with any questions and ask your child, ask them to show you where they are on their Chromebook and what kind of things they have to do to show mastery of a skill. Ask them to show you some of their evidence that they've mastered skills. And I think you'll be really impressed with what your kids have done in just the past 2 weeks. So thanks so much for your patience.